science fiction.
It could fill a library with all the science fiction that I read over the years.
I actually grew up being a sci-fi kid.
After the sci-fi book collection, I used to be a massive sci-fi nerd. I bought into all this stuff.
I loved Star Wars. It was hard to become a flat earther.
Everyone has the same story.
Yeah, we all were globe earthers, in case you didn't know.
I was violently opposed to it. I was mad at people that would bring it up.
A friend of mine was posting all these things on Facebook. It was pissing me off.
There's no fucking way the earth is flat.
These people still exist? How can anyone think the earth is flat?
That's fucking insane.
Flat earth, like, that makes no sense. Like, then how does stuff not fall off the side?
Staunch atheist for about 15 years.
I used to be an atheist up until 2015, when I mockingly began researching flat earth.
I was an atheist 39 years.
What the fuck?
What about all these satellites they're claiming that are going up to space? Where are the waves going from your cell phone?
Everybody that's into flat earth, it was very hard for them to get into it and admit it.
I already had this thought of, what it was, a globe, and what they told us.
Everyone has the same story. When I first heard about flat earth, I thought it was the dumbest shit ever. I thought it was a CIA psyop. It must be some kind of distraction.
God, this is a fucking nightmare. I can't be a flat earth person.
Exact same story. Everybody. No one just believes it right away.
So when my dad decided to change to be into a flat earther, I took that as a challenge and I tried to prove him wrong. But in order to prove him wrong, I had to know what the actual argument for the flat earth was.
I had a brother that was trying to convince me about flat earth, and I actually set out to prove him wrong. So I had to dive into a bunch of rabbit holes.
What is wrong with the world? Why is the world going absolutely crazy? Land at flat earth just laughed it off, okay, this is just completely crazy. I looked into it anyway, and thought I'll get a good laugh.
The only problem with the flat earth rabbit hole, whatever you want to call it, is it's kind of hard to beat.
I'm 57 years into believing that the earth is round.
Started going into the research, and boom.
The flat earthers, they have a lot of good, compelling shit to say.
Oh, fucking stupid.
Unbelievable. Like,
how the fuck are we supposed to handle all of this?
there's nothing compares. Nothing compares to the whole quote-unquote flat earth research rabbit hole.
Got a lot more to it than I think people would first assume.
Look into it like you're investigating it. Just look into both sides. There's a reason why it's becoming huge. There's a reason.
I have to question my own worldview and my own belief system. And thinking flat earth was stupid, which is where most of us start out at. Yeah, I never would have assumed I would have become a flat earther. So you have to realize that all these people that do, they have to literally be convinced against their own belief system and their own worldview to get to the point that they're at now.
Okay, there's no way that it's a ball.
And like so many others, I ask myself, what else are they lying about?
And it turns out the answer is everything.
I came to the realization that we've been lied to, that the Earth was in fact a flat, stationary plane and not a spinning water ball. That opened up the possibility of a creator, which in turn shattered my atheism. My trust in the Bible was restored, where I before didn't have any faith. Why trust the Bible when you couldn't even trust page 1? Now I could trust page 1.
God damn it! The earth is clearly not a fucking spinning ball!
Wait. Why does it all make sense?
And then I got interested in what does the Bible actually say? Oh, if it was right about that already from the start, maybe it's right about the other parts also regarding the endings. Turned out, yes, it was. Gave my life to Christ in 2016. And didn't look back.
Why is this all fake? Official NASA website releasing footage that's CGI.
Maybe really this is lost knowledge. Maybe it truly is lost knowledge. What humans are, what our planet is, and what this is all about.
There's nothing more mind-blowing than realizing that we've been lied to the point where we don't even know where we are. I can't think of any other experience topping that.
This can't be reality.
Even like the so-called smartest people in the world we'll all be like, these flat earthers are retarded, you know?
You know, no one with a brain believes anything about the flat earth. It's absurd.
It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely, they know nothing about science. And I don't want to get mad at them. It's just that it's ridiculous.
Us flat earthers know that once a person says that, they're basically just admitting that they either haven't even bothered to look, or they're not smart enough to understand that the math doesn't add up. One of the two things.
The world is just so filled with lies, it's actually quite sickening and disturbing.
It turns out the world is run by a bunch of Satan-loving liars who have us so bamboozled that we don't even know where we are. And it turns out that we've been living in their science fiction. You see, when you tell a story that begins with something exploding out of nothing, add a cajillion years and a whole lot of chance, you don't need God for that story to make sense. In fact, you have to do some disingenuous gymnastics to write God into that story. But if you see that we're really living in something like a cosmic terrarium, you can't avoid the conclusion that we're in somebody's terrarium. Try to write God out of that story, I dare you. The level of deception that has fooled multiple generations into believing that we're on a spinning water ball in a vacuum, when everything in our experience screams the opposite. That level of deception demands that we confront the existence of evil, because that's what their science fiction is, and that's its purpose. Would they construct such a massive lie for no reason? No way. This massive lie has an equally massive purpose from beginning to end. It's the very foundation of the scientific worldview that aims to make God irrelevant.
And I bet the farm that it plays a critical role in the great deception in the times ahead.
I'd heard the gospel, I grew up in the Bible Belt, but I could not reconcile that worldview with the one that I'd already implicitly accepted, which told me that the world is a meaningless accident. At the end of the day, I think the inherent cynicism of the heliocentric universe that exploded from nothing is fundamentally incompatible with the gospel of Jesus. I believe we are very carefully, intentionally, and lovingly placed in a world that is not just some random piece of a vast creation, but it's the very heart of creation itself. And so I pray that you reject the lie that would have you believe otherwise.
I've been lied to so much by my government, by the education system. I don't trust any of it. I don't trust any of it, quite frankly. It's all fake and gay.
Guarantee you, NASA is lying to us.
Yeah, it's the truth.
It's the truth. And it sets you free.
I've never seen a former flat earther. Nobody's ever seen what the actual shape of the earth is, and then been like, you know what? Neil deGrasse Tyson really does give me a good argument, because it's literally ridiculous.
Once you go flat, you never go back. We've seen both. Like, we know your model better than you guys.
Not everybody can be a robot polisher.
Listen, all I'm saying is if they tell me after I get my degree, after all of that trouble I had in so many of these classes, man, if they tell me the earth is flat, after all that, I will never forgive them. I'll tell you that much. It's been 4 years, okay? That's 4 years of my life right there.
I'll go on the record right now. If I find out a week from now that the earth is flat, and this has all been a lie, okay? I'll have a major crisis in terms of what else could be fake.
Oh yeah. I mean, it would be a big coming to Jesus moment for sure. Like,
oh yeah.
Like what?
For me, it would change everything that I understand about the universe, and it would be a humongous upheaval in my existential existence.
So, you know, if I imagine myself already being there, then yeah, you know, all of history, all of everything. Like,
What else could be a lie?
I'd rather be thought as a moron for not trusting criminals than a fucking sellout and a traitor for defending them.